All right, you guys, you asked for an update. I got the tea, I got some laundry, and I got a little bit of time. It's time for a fold-in chat. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. And I can say another video this time because this would be the second one in a week. Whoop, 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 whoop. I am so very excited, but my voice is not. So I definitely need you guys to bear with me today. Not only are we spilling tea, but we're drinking it too. Like, I literally sent my husband a Dunkin' Donuts for me. I'm out of tea bags and I really just needed a really good tea. I was gonna get the medicine ball from Starbucks, but I usually add stuff to it like when I go there. Like, I tell them like, hey, I want it really medicine-y or whatever. So I just went with a regular tea from Dunkin', but I'm gonna be sipping and doing the best to get through. I've been trying to sit down and do this for a while. Every time it's really good lighting and sunlight, I'm working. Today, of course, it's very overcast and I have a sore throat. And so one way or another, we're going to get through this because you guys wanted the info, you wanted the life update, you wanted the tea. And so we're going to do our best to get through what we need to get through. So let me take a sip and then we're going to get started. Psst. Where are you? Ella. Psst. I thought you were going to get a glimpse of the new cat, but she's being shy. She was just here. All right, you guys. So I hope everyone is well and doing good. I know it's been quite some time since I've got a chance to check in with you guys. You know, I wanted to address this like first right off the bat. Somebody had put in one of the comments like, hey, I hope you're gonna, you know, not say that you're gonna come back and then tease us, or, you know, don't come back and then leave again. I hope you guys know, like, that's truly never my intention. I have so much fun with you guys. I miss doing this. I will say, in all honesty, a good 15 to 20% of the reason why I quit my old job was because it was right around Christmas time. I had shared a couple of things with you guys on Instagram. Like, I shared my stuffing video, like I put that on my community tab and said like, hey, it's, you know, it's Thanksgiving, it's the holiday time, you guys love this video, like, don't forget. And then I always get the flood of comments like, we miss you, we wish you were coming back. And I get all the feels during that time. I think I even came on Instagram and said like, I start thinking about my old vlogs and like the videos I would do, like of the kids decorating the Christmas tree and stuff. And every year I go back and watch them and I enjoy them. It makes me happy. And so I remembered how much I truly enjoyed this, interacting with you guys and just being in a job that was dominating so much of my time that I didn't have time to do anything that I truly loved and enjoyed. And that even meant spending quality time with my kids, being home here, etc., etc. So, oh, here she is. Oh no, it's Oliver. Hi, buddy. Sorry, I thought you were Sissy. And so, but we'll get into that a little bit more, but I hope you guys know, like, it was never truly my intention to tease or say, hey, I'm coming back and I'm gonna stay away. I really do enjoy this, and as long as I can, I will always work towards putting something out just because I do enjoy it. Like, even the vlogs alone, like, I don't know if I'll have time to do that. Like, we had one of my employees were out with the flu this weekend, which is why I did 3 back-to-back open and closes. So I did 36 hours in 3 days. Like, that's a lot. Like, I don't see my kids through the weekends and stuff, and so those are still long, hard days. And so I don't see myself like necessarily maybe having the time to do what it takes to go into doing a vlog or an edit. Maybe I will, but for now, I know that I can put together things like this. This morning I started filming a lunch video because you guys started asking. So this morning during the kids' lunch, I started filming clips for that. Of course, I still sound like a man, but I was still filming clips for that. So I'll do what I can, but it's only because I'm in a job right now that literally one of the first things that they sat down and told me is, we know you just came from a job where you were working 70 hours a week. Luckily, my bosses that I'm with now, I met through working at Matangas. So I already knew them. They already knew me. And so it made it very easy to just transition jobs. But they said, like, you're not going to go work 70 hours. Like that's not going to happen. We believe in home work-life balance. 40 hours needs to be your maximum. And so most of my weeks are between like 36 and 40. Like this week I worked 46 hours. And that's only because majority of my hours were, you know, done in this weekend. Otherwise, prior to that, I had only worked a few hours earlier in the week. So a lot of my job performance now is behind the scenes, maintaining my team. I oversee a couple of locations, so it's making sure like truck orders and all of that are done, schedules are done, vendors and all of that, emails, deposits, all of that are being done for my multiple locations. So that's really more my focus. Some of that can be done from home, and I just clock my hours. So I have more time to do this, which makes me happier because I deserve creative freedom. I deserve to do things that make me happy, and I certainly didn't have that there. I will never leave intentionally, but if I have the time, I will always share. But if I don't, it's because I have a job that takes my time away, and that becomes a priority before this. Because at the end of the day, this is always, for the longest time, I prioritized it as a job. Now this is going to be something that's for me. It's just fun. And going back to the way that it was when I started, like if you've been with me from the beginning, it was never a job. I didn't know I was gonna, you know, grow to thousands of subscribers and meet all these amazing people. Like I didn't even think I was gonna get to 100 subscribers. So this was all just something to keep me busy while I was home, which that was another thing. For the longest time, this job was super fulfilling for me, especially in the beginning when I started and it wasn't a job. I wasn't really earning any income. It was more or less just me doing it to bide my time. My husband was always the one who worked the 60, 70 hours a week and then came home and barely had enough time to sleep, eat, shower, and do schedules and the things he needed to do on his off time. And so that left a very large disconnect between him and I, between our family, and it left me feeling very lonely and like without a purpose. And so when I started this, I felt like YouTube gave me a purpose. I finally got to share recipes and meet cool people. It was such a great opportunity. I had so much fun. I met Vanessa, Nicole, Madison, these people I still talk to on a regular basis, who we've built a friendship that's beyond the screen. And so I'll never ever regret ever stepping out into that, because it was very, very helpful for me at that time, but it was very fulfilling in the beginning, like when I really just needed something to really help me through. You know, when you're that mom that is constantly just getting up and taking care of the kids and kind of doing the same thing every day, you really do get into a rut. And so that was the inspiration for my channel in a nutshell. And then, of course, I made the mistake of sharing a video that I guess caused controversy. Again, I don't regret it, because it was a time in my life that I needed to have happen, because that time of my life is the reason why my life is the way that it is right now, that I'm the happiest in the job world that I've been, and I'm the happiest in my marriage that I have been, and that my kids are in a good spot and we're financially in a good spot, and all those things. Those were things that were not there before, that this big event caused us to reevaluate our life and fix a lot of things that need to be fixed and put us in the best possible position we could ever be in. So I'm definitely not guilty of that or regret that in any way. But of course it brings out all the people who feel that they can comment because you put your life out there. That was really hard for me to swallow in the beginning, because what became a purpose became a pain. Like, not a pain like it's annoying, like a pain like a hurt. Like, like a true deep hurt, and that wasn't worth it anymore. Again, I'm not sorry for that time in my life for any means, but it reached a point where the pain of change was less than the pain of staying the same. And so it was easier for me to say, maybe this isn't the job for me. And that only was because I fell into a job that I fell in love with. Now, if I didn't fall in love with working for Matingas, I would have stayed doing YouTube, and I was only doing that on the side. Daryl got the job first there. He actually had applied a year before, and he was gonna get the job, and then they ended up calling him, the recruiter did, and saying that they went with another applicant and that he didn't have the job anymore. Oh my god, these cats are crazy right now, I'm so sorry. And that was at the time they had hired Tori and Wanji at that time. Well, I believe they hired Tori, and that was the one that was in place of who Daryl would have been. And then Tori kind of grew within the company. Oh, no, the other way. Sorry. They brought in, it doesn't matter. You guys don't know who they are. But anyways, somebody came in, and then he did well within the company, and he kind of brought in a friend. And the two of them ran rampant within the company. It did grow a little bit during that year that they were with them. And so eventually it grew to the point where they needed to bring more people on. They put applications back out there. Daryl reapplied, and he got called back and got the job this time. I was very excited for him at first, especially because pizza was his wheelhouse. He spent many, many years, and he lived upstate before he moved to Long Island in the pizza world. So I knew this was going to be really good for him because he was going to be able to shine here. He started in April, so 3 years ago this April he started, and after like he got adjusted, he brought me in about June. And that's when I started just driving. I was literally just a delivery driver. And it was just to make a couple of extra bucks on the weekends. And it wasn't even for the money. It was more that he needed help. He kept saying like, oh my gosh, we're going to be so screwed today. Like, we don't have all these people. Like, oh my gosh, we're going to be in so much trouble today. Like, we don't have all these people. And so I started, and I didn't really do much in that first month because I think I think my start date was the end of June. And then like 3 weeks in, we all got COVID, and I was out we got it bad. So we were out for a bit, and then I went to New York, and I was in New York for a month. Like I always, used to go. I was still doing YouTube with you guys, so it was easy for me to travel with work. And so I went home, and then when I came back, they had just gone on their yearly trip. The owners of Matingas would go on a yearly trip to the Vault Conference, which Patrick Bet-David puts on every year. It's in different locations each year. And they had just gotten back from that. And whenever they go to these conferences, they always get into these mindsets because these are very expensive conferences. Like, these tickets are thousands of dollars a piece. So plus your airfare to get there, because the last few years it's been in Florida. And then your hotel to stay, your food, your all the things. It's not a cheap trip. So you want to get everything you can get out of this for your business, right? So they always come back with this crazy gung-ho mindset. And so they had just gotten back from their vault trip, and they came back with all these ideas and things, and I guess Tori and Wanji just didn't see eye to eye with them, and they left spontaneously, like just on a Sunday, put in their notice, like effective immediately, which turned the entire company upside down because these were the people that were like running the show and doing all the things, and so it was immediately a big upheaval. And at that time, well, I mean, still is, the store that Daryl was running was their largest location and the one that brings in the most revenue. So that was the one that was hurting the most. So Daryl had said like, hey, I really need you to work tonight, but like, I don't need you on the road. Like, I need you to come inside and just like stand at cut and work. And so I was like, okay, like whatever you need. Like, I don't care what you need. Like, just tell me what you need to help you. So it was going to be so busy that they also needed one of the owners. And so she came in, And she ended up working alongside of me, like at the cut table. And she kind of said like, oh wow, like no, at the end of the night, she was like, no one's ever outcut me on this table. Will you come on Monday, like to our engineer meeting, so that we can talk to you about a position? And so I said yes, and it was kind of, that started it from there, because I took a lead position, which just meant that I could train people to do things. And that was in September. I got another raise in November. By January, I was managing the store. By April, I had almost pretty much kicked my husband out of his position, which was kind of unfair, but I kind of was like a co-GM at that point. Most of those tasks were being, anything that wasn't kitchen related was being tossed to me. Daryl handled the kitchen, all kitchen, anything, truck order, all the things. But every schedule, everything at that point was going through me. By August of that year, they had invited me to go with them to that Vault conference. And so I had went, and after coming home that year, they offered me the area manager's position. So that's when I was overseeing like 6 of their locations, if you counted the trailer. And it was a lot of work. It was maintaining all the employees and the things that they ask you to do, which is insane. Like the amount of stuff that the managers and every employee has to do. I was paid very well. I will never ever slight them for what they were paying me. My discrepancy was never about their income to me, but they certainly pay all of their other team members a very low wage to do a hell of a lot of work. Things that are not team members' jobs, they are manager position things that should be handled by a manager, but they always want to get away with paying the lowest amount for the most amount of work, which is why they pay all of their stuff is done by virtual assistants who live overseas, so that they can pay them $3 an hour to do all their dirty work. So I observed a bunch of that throughout the things, but when I first started, I was just so impressed by the fact that the owners never slept. They were driven by success and what they were hoping that they could be. They had this goal of just being, you know, San Antonio's largest pizzeria, their best of everything. And honestly, I believe in having that kind of mindset. If you don't shoot for the stars, then what the hell are you shooting for? So I believe that in everything that it is. But I also believe in having realistic goals and not criticizing or not deeming employees for not reaching such unrealistic goals. Like, that's unfair on both parties, right? I started noticing that the more that time went on, the more that they struggled, because things aren't easy. It's hard to run a restaurant business in general, but with the cost of inflation, all the things, the struggles with employees, they certainly are not good at retaining employees. So employee retention was awful. So managers, constant shifts and changes. It just left for a very unstable work environment all the time. I found myself crying on a daily basis, 70 hours a week, being away from my children. They almost forgot that I used to work from home. And that was hard for me. I even said, Mason, like, what are you talking about? Mommy always used to be home. And he was like, what are you talking about? You've always worked and you've never been here. And that shocked me, because that means I had worked so much over these last 3 years that my kids had even forgotten that I spent every day taking care of them, working from home. And that's why I sacrificed not having a job and taking care of my kids, so they would never forget that mommy raised them. And yet I had pretty much blanked all of that out by not being around for these last 3 years. As a mom, that was really hard to swallow, because I definitely felt like I had really tried to achieve having my kids always feel like I was always here for them. And that really hurt me. Like I said, I feel so much better about this decision and leaving. There's a ton of other things that are involved in this, like how truly dirty and grimy that these people really are. But the true like tea of it all, I have to be very careful to spill at this moment. Why? Because I literally have not one but 2 lawsuits going. That's where it's at. Today I actually have a disposition at 3:30. I don't even know, do I have the, hey Siri? What time is it?
It's 1:37 p.m.
It's 1:37 p.m. Okay, so we have a disposition. It's over the phone, so I'm like not in a rush, but it's at 3:30 today on the phone with them. And then we have another one that my lawyer said that my lawyer's been drawing up papers for, and there'll be like a cease and desist and things that are being sent, but I can't discuss any of that until those things happen, and I'm sure you guys get that. Like my lawyer said, like tread very lightly. I told him I was gonna film a video and he was like, no, it's okay, just tread very lightly. Only facts about your employment and any details of why we're at where we're at, you just wait to spill that until all is said and done. And I said, oh yes sir, because once all is said and done, I'm gonna spill the tea so fiercely that I will expose them for all that they are. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm going to tread very lightly, especially in the sense that, let's go here for a minute. I spent a lot of time with these people. I went on multiple trips with them. I went to Vegas to compete in Pizza Expo. I went to the Vault twice. I went to the Women's Summit with Hingham in Houston. I spent a lot of time with these people, like on a day-to-day, every single day till massive hours. Like, I can't even tell you the amount of times I stayed in their house talking with them for 12 hours. Like, I would get there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then my husband would say, like, are you all right? Because you were going to a meeting, and it would be 8 o'clock at night. And, like, I'd still be sitting there, and we would have already called for food. And, like, you need me, baby? Babe?
Oh, sorry. Just want to ask you, witness list, because I'm putting it in right now. I got me, then I got you.
Cue hubby, perfect timing. We have to like provide witness lists and all the things. Anyways, a lot of time spent with them. Definitely a lot of good times and a crap ton of things that I have learned. I definitely took a ton of stuff out of all those times that I went to those Vault conferences and things like that. I took a lot of things of their huge book readers, like they were mandatory to make us read a book every single month and then do a book report on it. And I will say there are books that they asked us to read that were life-changing for me. Ones that I never would have read if they didn't tell me to do it, and they were life-changing for me. I'm not regretful of any of the knowledge that I learned. Especially since that knowledge allowed me to walk into my new job. Like, they didn't even have an area manager. I literally just said, hey, I'm about to leave my company. I need a job before I leave, and this is what I can do for you. You guys know me. You need one. You have multiple locations and nobody's overseeing those things. And what are your thoughts on bringing me on so I can do the same thing here for you guys that I've been doing for them? And he literally said, I called him, I would say maybe 2 hours before I was on my way to hand in my keys. I already knew I was quitting. I had pretty much already told him to F off, and I was just gonna go return my keys. I called and he said, yeah, that was December 20th. And he said, yeah, do me a favor, enjoy Christmas, and we'll see you on December 26th to sign your contract. Like, it was that simple. I went there and spoke with them, and we figured out how my position would benefit them the most. And I went home for Christmas to my family in January, and I started as soon as I got back. So that was really, really nice. Honey, can you close the door? That's super loud. I will never, at the end of the day, regret one moment of working there, but I will never, I will say one thing I learned for sure is that I will never, ever, ever let anybody steal who I am from me again. To lose sight of myself, to give up the things that mean everything to me. I will never let another job do that. Matter of fact, there's even been a couple of times, even now since January in my new position, where times have come up and I've said like, no sir, I'm so sorry, like I can't do that, only because I'm not gonna let myself kind of like fall back into, I don't want to work 50, 60 hours. I don't want to let something consume me so much that I cry every day. Like, I even think my boss was so worried about that. It's two partners. Neither one of them are better than the next. They're just incredible people. That's why I wouldn't have approached them for a job if I didn't already kind of get a feel for them and who they are already. But when I tell you, he's constantly like, hey girl, how's your head? Hey, how's your headspace? Hey, you okay? Hey, how you feeling today? Like, constantly checking on me, wanting to know how I am, making sure that everything is good. And so this to me was like, I couldn't even believe it, how much of a difference like my life is. I feel like my house is clean and organized because I have time to clean it. I was paying a house cleaner when I was working for Matingus because I literally couldn't work 70 hours a week, and my husband maintained 50 hours a week, and between us both being out of the house 120 hours a week and then still being able to clean the house. The kids are a fantastic help. My children are doing great. I will do another update video kind of talking more about kids and family. I really wanted the kids to like pop in. I planned to film this yesterday during the day. My voice was just so gone. It was even worse than today, so there was no point in filming it. But I was gonna film at home and let the kids pop in. I want to talk a little bit. You guys asked how my parents are, and they're great. You guys asked how Daryl is, and so I kind of want to give you guys a little update on those things. But I know so many of you were wanting to know what was going on with work stuff, and so I kind of felt like that was going to take precedence and a little bit more of this conversation than it would have been if I filled you in on all the life update stuff. Besides really work, that's all that was consuming my life. So besides my family, my friends, there wasn't really anything else to share at this time. Everybody at home is doing great. My brother's getting married in the summertime, so there's a ton of stuff that I'll be able to talk about and share with you guys there, but I'll do a different video when it comes time for that. But for now, I just kind of wanted to share with you guys because I asked you to unfollow like that page, and I got a slew of messages like, what is going on, girl? Like, are you okay? And at the end of the day, no, I'm really not okay. Like I said, once I can share more about that, I will. I think the biggest part for me is character. I always considered myself a really good judge of character, or at least I thought. And these, like I said, these are people I spent a lot of time with. I considered her a really good friend. When I first left, I was okay that I left. Like I said, like it was too much for me. I didn't want to do it anymore, but I'm going to pop a picture up here because I know that I still have it. I'm going to save it for the rest of my life. But my health summary, like your health app on your iPhone, it like sent me a push notification. This was sent, I'll look and see. I think it was sent like 5 or 6 days after I quit. And it said something like, what are you doing different? Your heart rate is down 26 beats per minute or something over the last however many weeks, 36 weeks or whatever it was. And it went in to say like, oh, when your resting heart rate drops, it's usually from weight loss or this or that. No. I've never received a message like that from my phone. And that message was because I had literally taken the stress of 6 stores, a failing business, awful humans, and all of that off of my shoulders. And the only thing that kept me there was all of those kids. That's why I've taken half of those kids with me to my new job. Because I wouldn't let them stay there. And once they said they wanted to leave, I said, well, that's fine. You come and work for me and I'll take care of you. Because that's the only reason why I stayed, were these kids. Because I love them and I didn't want to leave them. Like, I felt bad. They all knew, like, wait, if you leave, what's going to happen to us? And that really hurt. That kept me there a lot longer. I want to say a good solid year. yes, a good solid year, but not even just for them, for my own kid. Mason was literally obsessed with Matinkas. Let me show you my kids' school pictures. I'll pop those up somewhere over here. Like, my kids wanted to take school pictures in their Matinga's clothes so that they could self-promote. That was Mason's idea. Mom, it's free publicity. Like, everybody in the yearbook's gonna see their name and they're gonna wanna go there. Like, my kids were so tied. They did YouTube videos for them. I think I even shared it on my community tab, like them doing YouTube. Like, the kid was devastated. I stayed for Mason. I kept saying, like, what is Mason gonna say when I say I'm leaving? He kept wanting to go into the family business. And when I left, Daryl stayed. Like, this was nothing personal against the company at that time. It is now. But it wasn't then. It was literally like, hey, this is what I need to do for me. I'm gonna go. We don't need to work in the same place. Thank you for getting me the experience. You stay here where you're happy. Daryl was a GM of a location. They weren't busting his chops doing anything. He didn't have an area manager's position where 5,000 hats were worn daily. So they just weren't busting his chops, and it was easier for him to hang tight. No longer the situation now. Daryl no longer works there either. Hence court disposition today and other things. And so, yeah, we just want to put that phase of our life behind us. Hopefully when all of this goes down, we can.
Cameo's still here.
Popping in, babe.
Hello, strangers. She missed you.
Yeah, it certainly did. But we just want to put that part of our lives behind us. I'm grateful again for everything. I'll never forget it. I'll appreciate everything I've learned. I promise you my resume looks damn good now because of them. So I'm okay with all of that. I'm just not okay with sacrificing our inner selves for a job. That'll never happen again, ever. I'll never let my kids tell me that they don't remember me being home. I will never let them say that I choose my job over them, and I'll never do that for anybody ever again. So I learned a lot of great lessons, and we keep learning lessons, you guys, at this stage of our life, which is fantastic. I'm gonna cut this because I know now we're at 1:53, so it's gonna be a super long video already, and I wanna be able to get this out for you guys today, and I still have to work tonight. I have 3 night shifts left still until I have a night off. And I like rearranged it a little bit differently. Usually I have 2 solid days off, and I'll plan it to like where I work a day shift on a Tuesday, and then, or I'll work a day shift on a Wednesday, and then I'm off Thursday, Friday, and then I'll like close on a Saturday night. So I have like a nice long break in between. But that didn't happen this week because it's Mother's Day on Sunday. And so I didn't want to work on Sunday. Usually I always work Sundays. And I didn't want to work for Mother's Day. So I kind of revamped the schedule. So it's a little weird this week. But I definitely have a ton of time to film some other things for you guys this week. So I'm never going to promise more than 2. You will get this video today and then another video later on in the week. I think you guys tell me in the comments, and if you can tell me in the comments and you've made it so far, major freaking kudos to you. But let me know if you want me to do a throwback Thursday. I have so much footage on my computer. I wasn't kidding when I said I had intentions of sharing, but then my computer broke, and then I only had the Mac, and I didn't literally have the time to train myself. I will tell you, the day that I put that video out for the grocery haul, it took me about 6.5 hours. I texted Vanessa and said, like, bitch, what in the actual hell? Like, maybe I should have just stayed retired. Like, why can I not figure out how to do anything? I had been away from the computer for so long. I had never used iMovie. I had never used Mac. I was so confused that it took me forever. I exported it 5 times because I didn't even know, like, it's just a little timer. My old computer would like freeze the frame and put a box in the middle, and it would do one of the little lines until it went to 100% complete, and then you could export. Oh no, this is just, Apple just has a little tiny clock in the corner, and I didn't know. I'm like, why isn't this thing exporting? Yeah, I saved it and exported it 5 times. I just didn't know. So it'll be easier for me and it'll get quicker and easier, but I still have a ton of, I never had 9 hours. I never had a day off. I worked 6 to 7 days a week and I never had 9 hours. And if I did, I was cleaning my house or home doing schedules or something. So to actually have the time to be able to train myself, and a day off to do that was amazing. So now I can, and I can start kind of learning to do other things. If you guys want a Throwback Thursday, I can start sharing grocery hauls and stuff that I've had for a while. They're obviously not current, but at least I can start sharing things. So every Thursday I can do a Throwback Thursday. Like I have, like Kalahari, like I have a couple of vlogs even that I can tie in together, like maybe like 2023 and then a 2024 vlog of just like, I wasn't vlogging so I don't have a ton of clips, but like I have enough things that I could string together to share with you guys kind of what we were doing. I don't know, you guys tell me if you guys want to see that. I will definitely include that, but I will be able to squeeze in a couple of videos a week moving forward. I am excited about being back and sharing with you guys, so just keep in mind that I love you and I will always do the best I can to share as much as I can when I can. And thank you guys again always so much for watching, for all of the love, the support. Oh my gosh, on my grocery haul, the amount of comments, I can't even tell you how many times you guys brought me to tears. I really needed that. I love, that's the kind of validation that started this in the beginning for me, why I did it, because I felt like I really needed that. And then the hatred kind of took over and it clouded all the joy out of this, but I don't really have that anymore because hold on, D. I don't really have that anymore because I have a real job, and I don't mean that in another way, that this is now fun for me. Like for a long time this was a job, but it's not a job, it's fun for me now. So this is going to be something that I get to look forward to and like be excited about and those kind of things. So many times I have had grocery hauls that I'm like, why aren't I filming? I want to share this, like look at all these cool things, and I never decided to pick it up. So I'm gonna go ahead and get jamming with hubby so we can get ready. I'm gonna put away all this laundry and get ready for our 3:30 appointment. We still have to pick up kids at 3 o'clock from school, and I have to be at work at 5:30, and there's always traffic on a Monday, so I have to leave by 5. So and I wanted to edit this video, so like why am I still talking, you guys? I have to go. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys.